I call to order the City Council meeting Tuesday, August 6, 2024.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Good child.
Good. We're here.
Witt.
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Here.
Bruns. Pitt.
Here. I'd like to welcome everybody to Lamar's City Council meeting and all those watching on local access.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to open with general discussion. We open it up to any citizens who are in the audience who would like to speak to the City Council about any concerns or positives. We approach it, remind you, we cannot act on any thing that you talk about today, but we sure listen to what you have to say. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Seeing none, then we'll move on to Thumbs Up Award. Mark.
Just thumbs up to the city crews, the individuals and the businesses that helped remove all the trees and garbage that fell down during that last storm.
Yeah, you did a great job, and certainly did it well.
And my daughter and son-in-law had a really big one that did some damage, and they got it out of there pretty quick.
And the expediency that they were out, I think it was shortly after the winds, they were already out clearing streets and ready to go, so that was good. Brad?
So echo the same remarks, same sentiments.
Clark?
The exact same thing. They were out at 1 o'clock in the morning, worked till 4 in the morning, came back in at 6 in the morning. Street crews getting rid of a lot of stuff in the roadways, and so hats off to those guys.
I also echo those compliments. I also want to compliment the Community Theater's production of Into the Woods, their current production that they have going. We attended Sunday's at matinee. It was very, very good. Also, for Lori French from the Chamber, she wanted to make sure that we gave thumbs up to all of the volunteers, businesses, and nonprofits that work so hard during the fair, doing what they do and keeping a positive attitude about it. And she also wanted me to give thumbs up to all the restaurants and retailers on Highway 3 who have had the patience and their business affected with the construction. And now that we're getting the road closed and getting it done, hopefully that will be done quickly and we can get that taken care of. So thumbs up for remaining positive. All right, we move on to consent items. All items listed under consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a request is made prior to the time the council votes on the motion. Today we have 6. Approval of July 16, 2024 regular meeting minutes. List of bills for period ending 7/31/24. The renewal of a liquor license for the bar, Casey's, Corkett, and a new liquor license for Chaos on Central. 4, surplus to property sale. Request to close the street for the Olson Concert Bash and the 2023 Southview Industrial Park change order number 1. Any items anyone wants to discuss or pull?
So that change order's going in the right direction, so.
Yeah, let's have more of those.
Yeah, there's no problem there. Motion to approve consent 1 through 6.
We have motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Moving on to action items. We have 2 today. Action item D1, the Overlook Edition revised final plat. On April 2, 2024, the council approved the final plat of Overlook Edition. The addition will consist of 4 lots for a multi-family development project of 92 apartments and 8 townhouses. The developer, Talon Development, would begin the project upon receipt of Iowa Workforce Housing Tax Credits. During the tax credit application process, Talon was informed that award would not take place if any portion of the project property fell within the 100-year floodplain. A small portion of Lot 3 and roughly half of Lot 2 lies within the 100-year floodplain. To satisfy this issue, the revised final plat has been submitted, removing the questionable portion of Lot 3 and making it a part of Lot 2. The City of Lamar's will take ownership of Lot 2, but through a development agreement, Overlook Apartments LLC will improve and maintain Lot 2 for site drainage. The recommendation is that the Administration and Planning and Zoning Commission recommend council approval of the revised final plat of Overlook Edition. Anything on it, Jason?
No, I don't. Nothing additional to what was written there.
Okay. Any questions by anybody? Then I would seek a motion.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2438, approving the revised final plat of Overlook Edition.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Do I need? Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. May I have a roll call on that, please?
Goodchild,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes?
Pitt,
Yes.
Wick.
Yes. Motion carried.
And move to approve the development agreement with Overlook Apartments LLC.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on. Action item 2, drainage study agreement. Attached is a proposal from Civil Engineers and Constructors LLC, CEC, to perform a drainage study of a portion of the south edge of Lamar's. The study will evaluate existing storm sewer infrastructure and suggest upgrades needed as development continues in the area. Administration recommends the council approve of the study. The $54,805 cost will be paid with storm sewer funds.
Jason, what's $54,000 buying us?
What's that?
What is $54,000 buying us?
An evaluation of really how our existing storm sewer infrastructure, if it can handle the increased development south of.
So is it mainly the 18th Street, Central Avenue,
So it's essentially.
and that drainage area?
Yeah, so because of the development that's happening south of 18th and more or less right now, east of Central, all that water flows, well, it ends up past McDonald's, it goes that way, but they're not gonna go that far. It may take them that far if they find issues here.
Okay.
Because right now, you know, the first thing that we're probably gonna look at is that, that larger detention basin that's at the corner of Central and
18th, that one. That's kind of what I figured was,
Yeah,
what about the big hill
that
out?
tops right now in certain events.
I'm sorry?
That tops.
Oh, it does. It does.
In certain events.
So they're gonna come at us with what solution?
Suggestions,
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Does that have, is it gonna include the big hill that's out there, the big cutoff? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or how, I mean,
Well, they know that because these are the same individuals who are responsible for Steve Schuster's developments. I mean, so they already have all that data, so they know what's gonna be coming off of there.
okay.
So they're gonna take it from there and
See
know
what we
what's
do, see
depicted.
what we do with it
Yeah, because
downstream.
then there, it gets into our stuff that's already been established for decades.
Right.
And,
That's a huge detention basin, and it's not holding it in.
It can be bigger. The first suggestion has been, if you know the lay of the land there,
Yeah, kind of.
it falls kind of to 17th and Central intersection.
Yes.
So that northwest corner of that detention basin could be built up,
Okay.
which would result in that
Capture.
more water being held
Right, capture.
and letting it slowly drain out there. So that's going to probably be the first thing.
What about depth? Can we go deeper?
No,
Why?
no, well, because the outlet pipe is already.
It would hold water then.
It would hold, yes, it would hold water. Because of the outlet pipe.
The outlet, right. That is correct, okay.
Yeah, so the only thing to do is to build up that north,
That does make sense.
that northwest corner to allow more water.
Okay, I just knew that was a problem, potential,
Yeah.
and could be a problem area.
So when that is full, let's say when it's topped, how long does it take, let's say the rain stops, how long does it take for that to drain out, you know?
Well, water doesn't sit in there very long.
Because I have the same scenario in the little creek behind my house. It's supposed to be just high weather or rain events, but it seems like every good rain it's coming out up into my yard a little bit. Not a problem, it's just woods. And it's not built to hold it. But it seems like we're having a lot more rains.
Having lived on First Avenue Southwest and having that waterway behind,
Yeah.
there are times when, yeah, there's a lot of water, but honestly, it does slow down and not, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just kinda curious as to,
Yeah, so, I mean, so at the end of this report, they're gonna tell us what we have, what the current condition is, and then offer suggestions on,
corrective action.
yeah.
So are we handling it now down by Kemp's and coming in there through Red Shed and coming into?
Yeah, I don't think,
Are we pretty well handling all that now?
yeah, I have not heard of any issues other than right here at 18th, and you guys have seen the mud
Yeah.
and stuff there. That's the only issue I know of right now.
That's the biggest one we're after. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to double check. And I realize 7-inch rain, you're not gonna contain much of anything. That's just life. I get that. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve the proposal from Civil Engineers and Constructors LLC for the Central Avenue 18th Street Southeast Drainage Study with a not-to-exceed amount of $54,805.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you, buddy. Moving on to discussion. Jason.
Plymouth is closed again. 10th is the west side this week, I think you guys also already know, west side this week. And then finish up the east side next week. So, which includes this block and then everything up past the hospital. So,
And that will be pilot traffic from
yep.
what they have currently to there, correct?
Yeah, because, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because once they get farther east, there'll be no need for the detour anymore, but restrictions will happen while they're working
Yeah,
by the hospitals.
okay.
Lamar's Industrial Park 4, right now, currently, the city crew, city water is out there installing the water main extension along Industrial Park. It looked like they were pretty close this morning, so once they're done, then the contractor is gonna come back and then reseed that area, and then that subdivision is completely finished. Southview, similar situation, just one thing left there. Next week will be the startup of the new lift station that was installed on the west end. I believe next Wednesday, I think is what Doug told me. And then once that's done, contractor will come in. Well, simultaneously it could happen. contractor still needs to do some final touch-up stuff and then, some final touch-up of receiving, so. Plywood, hard barricades are finally up out there. Right now, I haven't heard anything new, Mark. But right now, the contractor is kind of on hold on what they need to do, because there is emergency funds available through the DOT, because of flooding damage that occurred. So until that funding is completely secured, no work can happen on the site. So, and I believe it was this week that they hoped that funding could be finalized, so.
I think that's right. And it also fits with the fall seating windows, so it kind of is all coming together.
Yeah, hopefully, as long as the contractor gets back there in a timely fashion.
Right.
And does their stuff, but, yeah, so that's where that's at right now. And flood repairs continue. This last, rain last Monday slowed stuff down. Took people to different places, so flood repairs still need to be done. So, and that's essentially, wreck trail replacement right now. Probably some more stuff out at the campground to get done.
Are they gonna support that north wall to the pond somehow?
That is, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we'll cut down on the erosion. But we gotta look further at that because I'm not too convinced that'll hold. for too long.
Currently now, you can see it's still falling away.
Yeah, every time it rains, it
Yeah.
erodes.
Yeah.
So, we'll see if that stabilizes, but that doesn't alleviate the concern of, what was washed out. If everybody saw how much of that north side was washed out. We filled it, but, just because of the conditions, there's limited compaction and all that stuff. I mean, you're gonna have to allow nature to compact it, but, so until that happens, there's always this concern that everything that was put back in could easily go down, so, I may have to look at a few of those camping pads around that area and actually move the driveway over so we don't lose. So if it doesn't cause any more damage further, so. I'm hoping to get with Scott and Brad sometime soon so we can go out and finish that stuff. I know electrical has to be done out there, especially on the south side, that was underwater, so. But yeah, that probably has the most stuff to look at yet and complete, but we'll get there.
Anything else?
That was it.
Jason, do you want to touch base on the plywood phase 3 that work has begun down there by the DOT station in Leeds? I've actually personally, I rode my bike along the highway to look at it, and I've been down there and they've got it framed up. They were supposed to be pouring concrete, I think this week. Different contractor. So far, so good with those folks. I think the plan, right, was to go, well, they're gonna work as late into the year as they can, but we're hoping they can get as far as maybe that Taggart Motorsports, where there's gonna be a little bridge over something, right by that electrical area.
Good.
Nice to see that progress.
Joe?
I have nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
Joe was on vacation last week. You could ask him about his vacation.
Where'd you go?
Black Hills.
Oh, nice. Get there before all that.
Mark, do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
A branch at the corner of Fifth Street and Third Avenue. Right there by Franklin, totally covering the stop sign. We can get that cut out.
Fifth Street, address, what was it again? Fifth Street, what?
Fifth Street and Third Avenue. It's on the south side. Okay, Clark?
Farmer's market sign, is that gonna be the sign they use all the time, or are they gonna get something a little bit more permanent if it works out?
I would,
that's what-
I was gonna bring that up too, but I would suggest that we do something more permanent that we could then use to promote all the events that are going
Other
on.
events?
Yeah, and not necessarily an LED, maybe some sort of a vintage, sign where you have to put up the letters or something, but I had the same thought,
Okay.
seeing that farmer's market sign.
I was just curious what
Yeah, and I don't know
future
what.
plans were.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know if we were gonna wait until it works out, or, a year in.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, I would think it might
Like
even.
season running this year. and then-
Yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, with the number of events that are starting to happen there, I wouldn't be opposed to necessarily having something, assuming.
More
it's-
permanent for the whole.
Right.
Okay.
Whether or not farmer's market stays there,
Right.
but again, it's gonna boil down to cost and,
Right.
as long as it's not prohibitive. And I don't know how you would do it. I mean, would you mount it on the brick wall?
I'm not sure, yeah, if it'd be a
I'm not sure.
pedestal, I was thinking
Yeah.
a pedestal sign of some sort,
Yeah.
vintage looking,
Yeah.
but we'll see. I mean, that's just kind of for discussion. And then Mr. Mullally, I see you sitting back there. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about your visit here a few weeks ago. And they're not necessarily questions, they're my observations. First of all, most of your concerns are really about 100% out of the city's hands as I see it. You're dealing with the railroad, they're gonna go as fast or as slow as they damn well please. There's nothing we're gonna do about it. As far as your walkway going across Plymouth, I'm not sure what can be done there. Because there again, it's the Iowa DOT that's gonna give permission or quite likely deny permission to put a walkway there with any kind of safety features, because they're not gonna allow us to stop Highway 3 traffic. So I sympathize with what you brought up, but I do want you to understand it didn't fall on deaf ears, but I don't think there's a thing we can do about any of it. Not a thing, unless I'm missing